Have you ever wondered how we can protect biodiversity in our livestock? Today, I'm interviewing Jeannette Beranger, a senior program manager with the Livestock Conservancy, and we are going to talk about a very unique program that they have in place. And I think you're going to love what we have to share. So, welcome, Jeannette, and can you share a little bit about the Livestock Conservancy?
Sure. We're a nonprofit organization that has members across the United States and even abroad. And our primary mission is the conservation of endangered breeds of livestock and poultry. And that's not just animals that are rare, it's animals that are genetically unique, and that if they were to disappear tomorrow, there's no recreating them genetically. And it all boils down to we really want to keep genetic diversity in agriculture, and this mission is focused on that solely. And so that's what we do, and the work we do is um, ranges in all kinds of directions, from DNA conservation and cell conservation to doing censuses to helping farmers with marketing, writing educational materials. I mean, you name it, it's part of our program. It's very wide reaching.
Mhm. Now, one of the programs that you have that I found particularly interesting is the Shave 'em to Save 'em program. Can you talk a little bit more about what that program is and how does it work?
Yeah, the program started about I think about 5, 6 years ago now, and a good friend of the Conservancy, Deb Robeson, was talking with me one day and looked me square in the eye and said, "Jeannette, you got to do more with fiber. You're missing the boat." And we could do so much more for our sheep breeds. And then we started brainstorming ideas and came up with this Shave 'em to Save 'em initiative. And what it does is connect fiber artists with fiber providers. And the fiber artists get a little passport book, and each page in there is for a particular breed. And when they buy fiber from our providers, they get a little sticker that says the name of the breed and where it's from. And they can put that sticker in their passport book, and they can make notes about what the fiber was like. And right now, if you complete 5 or 10 or 20 projects, you get a little prize to just say, "Yay, you did it!" And all the breeds in there are on our conservation priority list. And these are breeds, as I said, that are genetically unique, and there's no recreating them once they're gone. And so the fiber providers are uh, uh, typically members of the Conservancy. And we also have resellers. Like, there are some of our members that don't want to do the marketing, they just want to sell the wool. And so they'll sell to fiber mills, and then the fiber mills will sell the product.
Mhm. So, one of the things I thought was really interesting about this program when I first heard about it was this concept of that the livestock need a job. They need a purpose, they need a role. And so in being able to provide their fiber, they're really fulfilling part of their role. So now can you talk a little bit about the early lessons in what have been learned, how it's benefiting farmers from the Shave 'em to Save 'em program?
Well, the lessons we've learned is that the farmers that do take the initiative to wash their wool and to put it into the 4 ounce minimum portions, like if, for the fiber artists, they have to make a project with a minimum of 4 ounces of wool. And so the farmers that take the initiative to wash the wool and then bag it up typically get the best return on their fiber, really good returns compared to what they did before the program. And the beauty of it is, as a fiber artist, if you can't afford to be buying a whole rare breed fleece, and some of them can be expensive, especially when you get into the long wools. And so it makes it affordable for everybody, but still gets a great return for the farmer. So that's a big lesson we've learned. And We've also learned that not all fiber artists know how to buy a fleece, or some of the things within this program will be very new to them. So we have a lot of really great educational materials on our Shave to Save 'em page that is helpful for both the producers and for the fiber artists that are just delving into this new aspect of working with these fibers and these animals. So we've learned education's really important, and I think it's really paid off because the program is a great success. We have had over 4,000 fiber artists signed up, and we have over 300 fiber providers. So it continues to grow. Just got a whole bunch of people signed up from Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. So I'm really happy about that. So we continue to grow.
Mhm. So now for before this program existed, what were a lot of the farmers doing with the fiber? Can you speak a little bit to the main wool market that they may have found themselves selling in and kind of what was happening before the creation of this program?
Before the creation, a lot of people were having real difficulties selling their fiber because the fiber artists just didn't know what they were looking at or had no idea that fiber existed. And what's really exciting is that we've opened up a whole new world for these fiber artists that, may discover the next most favorite wool they've ever worked with. And it could be Tunis, it could be, Santa Cruz, you just don't know. And they're all so different. We also have educational materials for the fiber artists. If they have never worked with the wool before, we have a bunch of fiber profiles online, and it will tell you how the wool's going to handle and what kind of projects they're good for.
Hmm. And so now farmers that were struggling to find these markets, one of the things we talked about before is it wasn't really unusual for them to simply compost their wool,
Exactly. Oh yeah.
just due to
Or
that
it just
market, or
yeah, or
throw
that
it
just
away
sits
or
in the barn forever. you know.
right. Exactly. And so this also creates an income stream for the farmers that are protecting that biodiversity by raising those as well.
Mhm.
So there's an initiative that you're working on in the Great Lakes region, and I would love you to share a little bit more about what that initiative is. I know you're just in the very early days and getting started, but can you share more about what that initiative is and kind of what's coming
Yeah.
down the line next?
Yeah, we just got a grant that's going to be spread out over 3 years, and it's to organize a regional fiber system that supports the rare breeds and the Shame to Save 'em initiative. And so we're going to be working with the Wisconsin Sheep Breeders Cooperative as a starting point, and we're going to reach out from there. But what we want to do is understand what are the needs of both communities and what can we do to meet those needs, whether it's educational webinars or demonstrations or what have you. But what we want to do is create a stronger fiber system so that each side supports each other. And if successful, then this can be a model for other regions. Certainly for Shame to Save them, but it could be for other species as well. So we're really excited about it. It's just gotten off the ground. The Sheep and Wool Festival was the first step to start to meet people and connect, and I'm really excited to make a difference in the Great Lakes area.
Mhm. And I was selfishly happy to see it in the Great Lakes area since I'm in Minnesota as well
Yeah.
with the Lake Superior. So we're eager for when it comes here as well, and look to support that. So I think philosophically the reality that so many farmers face is how do they actually get the thing to the market, and is there a market there? And it's no different than what a lot of other artisan business owners experience. If there's no market there, it's really hard to figure out how to sell it and develop a market and build it all out. Where they're certainly not going to be experts in that. They're experts in raising the animals and the animal husbandry and how do you take care of them and how do you grow them. But
Yeah, well,
to
we've kind
build
of
the other
taken
side, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we've taken the marketing issue and provided a solution for them. They can market their wool through the program, and having spread, the information to the fiber artists. I mean, the market just created itself, and it continues to grow. And so it's a really unique program in that we've created an entire market for these animals, in one fell swoop, and that's not an easy thing to do for rare breeds. you know so I wish all the breeds we had produced fiber. It would make things a lot easier. Wishful thinking.
Oh, absolutely. But it's encouraging, right? It's a huge step in the right direction to actually be able to connect as part of that ecosystem, the people that are interested in the product once they learn about it with the people that can provide the product. So it's a beautiful step in the right direction and is something, like you said, that is both sides are supported. Because it only works when both sides are supported. It can't be completely extractive and one side completely takes advantage of it. That doesn't work for an ecosystem. So I think that's what's so unique and interesting about what you're doing. Now, before the recording, we talked about a little scenario that I think was pretty fun. I think you need to share here one of the particular kinds, something that was being sold on Etsy and the success
Oh
they were
yeah.
having with that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see what the impact of Shave 'em to Save 'em has been on wool prices. And I went to Etsy because, a lot of people sell their wool there, and it's a way I can see consistent prices. Um, but, just to kind of give you a baseline, so medium coarse grade commercial wool, according to USDA, sells for 69 cents a pound, that washed wool. Fine grade commercial sells for $3.66 a pound. When you get into really fine merino, that sells for 38.85 a pound. Now you get into something kind of rare, hard to get. Florida cracker, 94.60 a pound for washed fleece. Um, Gulf Coast sheep, $40.87 a pound. Navajo churro, 36.60 a pound. And then you get into Tunis, 78.50 a pound. And then the long wools, Cotswolds like 55, Leicester is 66, Teeswater is 52 a pound. And, so the program has definitely made a big difference. And as I mentioned earlier, if the farmer is willing to wash the fleece and bag it up in those 4 ounce bags, you're going to get a much better return than just having raw fleece. Now, some people don't want to be bothered with washing the fleece, and that's fine too. And I think you still can find market for it through the program, but it's not going to be as robust as clean fleece. But we did add a how to wash fleece educational tutorial for fiber artists that just couldn't get washed fleece and were stuck with raw fleece. So we provided that as well because we knew there were people that just weren't going to be washing fleeces because they're too busy raising sheep. So
Mhm.
so it's been really interesting, and the next step I'm going to be doing is looking at sheep census to see have the populations changed in the past 5 years since the program came out. So I'm excited to do that and see what the results are.
Mhm. And so we're a few years into this project, and certainly there's a lot more to come, but it's showing some promising results. And all of this is about how do we develop out these specialty markets. So specialty markets, they don't have to grow to be $1 billion market. They just have to be a sustainable market that
Yes.
has the right mix of growers and the people raising them and the people buying it. So I think that's the important thing, that and the nice step to see that it sure feels like it's working in the early days, and it's exciting to see it continuing to develop. So
Yeah,
with
I
all
think
of these. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying. I think there's certainly more than 4,000 fiber artists out there. So I think we still have opportunity to expand and hopefully encourage more domestic sheep production.
Mhm. So now, if somebody wants to follow along, if we've intrigued a few people that said, "I wanna see what they're doing, I wanna watch as they keep developing out these projects, maybe participate in some of your surveys, that you're going to have coming," how do people follow you on social media? How do they find out what's going on with the Livestock Conservancy?
Yeah, well, you can go to rarebreedwool.org, and that'll bring you to our Shame to Save 'em pages. And we have a very active Shame to Save 'em Facebook page. And on there, you'll see the latest news, what's going on, and see people's projects. Or some of the providers will say, "Hey, I've got one fleece left," and you can connect with fiber providers there. But it's a very robust page, and it just astounds me the creativity that people have with this wool. And you can also see their comments on, what did you think of Clune Forest? And people are always commenting about their experiences with the different fibers, and that's really really great to get that kind of feedback.
Mhm. So lots of great ways to follow up, explore more, and find more. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jeanette. It's been an absolute pleasure to learn more about this program, and I look forward to continuing to hear updates as you continue to develop the program.
I'll sure be happy to come back. Thank you for having me.